Just what? Are you gonna go boo 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 boo?
Oh yeah.
Yes. Wait on the drop there, George. Okay.
I'm gonna lose my job.
Hello, hello. Welcome to What the Flicks, and I'm Susan Ayers.
I'm Patty Smith.
Sean White.
Jorge Sanchez.
Okay, so today's movies are going to be Stranger Than Fiction, The Assignment, Bedazzled, and last but not least is 1917. Okay, so I'm going to start with Patty, who has got herself cloistered today. Yeah,
Quarantined.
Oh, yeah, that's the word.
6 feet away.
Okay, so Patty,
Yes.
let's go.
Okay, my movie was Stranger Than Fiction.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Are you Miss Eiffel?
Yes.
Am I interrupted?
Yes.
I'm the assistant your publisher's hired.
The publishers think I have writer's block.
Do you have writer's block?
I don't know how to kill Harold Crick. This is a story about a man named Harold Crick. Harold lived a life of solitude. He would walk home alone. He would eat alone. When others' minds would fantasize about their upcoming day,
Hello?
Harold just counted brush strokes.
All right, who just said Harold just counted brush strokes? Dave, I'm being followed.
How are you being followed? You're not moving.
It's by a woman's voice. She's narrating.
Oh.
Harold couldn't concentrate on his work.
I can't think while you're talking.
You have a voice speaking to you.
About me, accurately, and with a better vocabulary.
Harold found himself exasperated,
Shut up!
cursing the heavens in futility.
No, I'm not. I'm cursing you, you stupid voice, so shut up and leave me alone!
So you're the young gentleman who called me about the narrator. The thing to determine conclusively is whether you're in a comedy or a tragedy. Have you met anyone recently who might loathe the very core of you?
I'm an IRS agent.
Get bent, tax man!
Everyone hates me.
Well, that sounds like a comedy.
Have you written anything new today?
I figured out how to kill Harold Crick.
Little did he know that events had been set in motion that would lead to his imminent death.
What? Why? Hello? Come on!
This woman, Karen Eiffel, is one of my favorite authors.
That's her. That's the voice. She's the narrator.
Karen Eiffel, my name is Harold Crick. I believe you're writing a story about me.
Is this a joke?
You have to understand that this isn't a story to me. It's my life.
I want to live. I need to speak to Karen Eiffel. I'm one of her characters.
I'm sorry?
I'm in her new book, and she's going to kill me.
How exciting is that?
It was brought out in 2006. It features Will Ferrell, Emma Thompson, Maggie, I never say her name right.
Gyllenhaal?
Gyllenhaal, thank you, and Dustin Hoffman. They're the main players. And it's about Harold Crick, played by Will Ferrell, who's a very lonely IRS auditor who lives his life really by his watch. Like, he does so many steps to brush his teeth, he does so many steps to get... He's just like you think an IRS auditor would be. Anyways, he's assigned to audit a tax delinquent baker named Maggie Gyllenhaal, who he's very attracted to. At the same time of all this, he begins to hear a voice of a woman narrating his life as if he is the main character, but unable to communicate with the voice back. One day while waiting for the bus, his watch stops, and as he resets it, he hears a woman say, little did he know that his simple, innocuous act would result in his imminent death, and then he starts paying attention. And he goes about trying to find who this author is so he can not have an imminent death. And he consults a literary professor, which is Dustin Hoffman, and they work to identify who the author is. And for Harold, they decide for one day he has to do absolutely nothing because it's really kind of cool how they separate the different genres and they kind of narrow it down. Now, on the side story of this is he's auditing Maggie Gyllenhaal, sorry if I say it wrong, and he's really attracted to her. But if you ever want to see a courtship that's really blown, that would be her, because he doesn't know how to approach women, and everything he says is wrong. So finally, he gets to meet the woman who's writing the book, and that would be Emma Thompson. But in all her characters in her books, she kills them. And then it becomes a dilemma of, should she kill him? Because now she's met somebody who she's writing about. And I don't want to give away the ending, but I find this movie really original, one, and funny, sweet. It's just got all the elements. It's also a very quiet movie. But I considered it really worth mentioning. You should see it. The end.
Okay. George.
Yes. Yeah, I actually really enjoyed this movie. It's I've seen it. I saw it when I came out, and I kind of forgotten about it. But then when I saw it this time, I was just cracking up the whole time. You know, especially when he first starts to hear the voice, and he's like, and he's, you know, when he's brushing his teeth, and then and he's such a. Actually, his character reminded me of Hot Soccer Proxy, Tim Robbins' character, the kind of goofy character.
Oh yeah.
And also, I like when he's when he finds out when she's narrating and she says, "I'm gonna," little did he know that he's gonna die. He's like, "What? What? When? Why?" So that was I enjoyed the movie. Will Ferrell, I think it might be one of the early serious roles that he did, but he was still really funny. But I just enjoyed it. I enjoyed all the characters. The whole thing about, you know, books and writing and authors. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I agree, Sean.
Wow, that was quick. Nothing to add.
I'm going last.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. Gotcha. Okay, so I think last episode, Susie might have been the Debbie Downer. I think today is my time.
Oh, good. Come on down.
Yeah,
come on, Deb.
I'm coming down. I'm coming down. So something else is coming down out of my nose. It is nasal polyps, even though we are in COVID-19.
I know you have to think about these.
So we are separated. Everyone is separated. Everyone's being safe and healthy. I am not a Will Ferrell fan.
Okay, nothing fell. No lightning.
There wasn't. Okay. Woo! Yeah. So I'm not a Will Ferrell fan. There's only a couple roles that I've actually seen, and I've never seen the Elf. What was the one? The Christmas one?
I think that's right. I think it was Elf.
Elf or something. Which I think everyone says, it's a great movie. It's a funny movie. You should see that movie. But I mean, the one, like a couple movies that I like him in are, I think, Dads or
or
his Fathers or something.
Yeah,
There's something
with Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, with Mark Wahlberg, and then their fathers come into it. Like, so it's not that I dislike him. I just don't. He's too.
He walks the line between ridiculous and obnoxious and actually funny.
Yes. Yeah. So,
but did you like him in a serious role, the one that he has in this movie?
No.
That's okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Actually, to be honest, there's a video, a home video of him and his child. That's just hilarious. It was his little daughter, I believe, that he, just made. They were just filming. Him and his wife, I think, were filming it, and the daughter was going to the door. He was just being silly with his kid, basically, and it was just hysterical. Like I was crying, laughing, but no. So back to the movie, Stranger Than Fiction. Amazing cast, right? Come on, how can you Emma Thompson, Dustin Hoffman, Queen Latifah, Queenie? She shops at my Vons. Anyway, Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, big cast.
Great cast. Just not something. I mean, I like the writer in the head.
Mm-hmm.
That I like that happening.
Mm-hmm.
I would have preferred someone else being the lead man.
Like Tim Robbins.
honestly,
He
yeah.
does a goofy character too.
Like, and again, there's a difference between goofy, like you said, goofy, ridiculous. There's a line. There's just there's a line, and for me, it just didn't work with Will Ferrell. Like the movie, good, great concept, amazing cast, but again, I'm not a Will Ferrell fan, so it just didn't
even the role he
work
played,
for
you're
me.
still seeing. You were probably still seeing Will Ferrell's characters from previous times.
Yes, yeah.
So when you saw him playing this
agreed.
role, if it was the first time you ever seen Will Ferrell, you might have had a different view on it, but you're still carrying this Will Ferrell from his whole career.
That might be, yeah. That might be. That might be.
Yeah, I have to tell you, okay. Did I have a good week or what? I had a great week. I was the exact opposite of our last time, right? It was like I enjoyed every movie we saw. So I just love this movie. And to me, it's like Will Ferrell plays like kind of like Sheldon. Sheldon falls in love and works for the IRS.
Well, right, he's very Sheldon.
You know what I mean?
With the numbers and everything.
Yeah.
Counting the steps.
Because he's so... I just thought he was very endearing because he was so awkward. And I thought he played that very well. I thought he played a very awkward...
nerdy...
Yeah, and actually... It also reminds me of another movie that we're going to do later because where the guy is just so endearing because he's so nerdy. And so, yeah, I really loved it.
I get that. I get that.
This was a very, even though it seems like a very light, sweet movie, this actually was a very interesting movie. It, like all the names of the people, like Crick, Pascal, Eiffel, they're all names of either Escher. They're either scientists or they're artists that are very influenced by science. So I mean, there's like lots of stuff going on there. And I heard that Howard Glick, Will Ferrell had a thing in his ear. All the times, right? He could hear her talking when she was saying her lines.
Oh, interesting.
So
okay.
he was reacting
I
to
wasn't
it, and
aware
that's
of
how
that.
he could react to it so good. And the other thing was that, she's kind of a mess. She's having writer's block.
This is Emma Thompson.
Emma, yeah, her character is Karen Eiffel. She's having writer's block, and she did the whole thing without makeup. Right. And you get, and just little things like that in the movie were so good.
See, I wasn't aware of like him having it in his ear.
Yeah.
Because he is such to me, I'm sorry to interrupt. He's such a slapsticky, like interpret what they call it. It's when you go on stage.
Oh yeah, like Groundlings, improv.
Yeah, improv.
Yeah.
To me, he's very improv-y.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so that's very interesting. Okay.
Because his timing was really good.
Well, it was a very different movie. I agree with you. He hits or misses for me, like movies that people love about him. What's that, like Old School or something like that?
Yeah. Ricky Bobby, Talladega Nights.
I love Ricky Bobby. I love Ricky Bobby. I thought it was great because he also plays that straight.
Yeah.
He doesn't play that comedic.
When he plays a straight character, he's funnier because he's kind of like...
Well, what I mean by that is even though Ricky Bobby is funny, it's like, but he doesn't play it that way. He plays it serious. Like he's playing it that way. So he's pretty, I like him in, sometimes he hits and some need to, but I particularly liked him in this because he plays this dorky guy and he probably is a little bit of a dorky guy and he plays it well. You know what I mean? It's like, so... Yes, so there you go.
And also, I'll say one thing about Will Ferrell that he's known as Sound Alive on film sets. Like he likes to make his other cast crack up, break lines. He makes it almost like a goal that he's gonna make him break the lines.
Yeah.
And you can go online and you can watch Will Ferrell making his cast breaking lines, and you see every movie like he'll just come up and say something, and then you're like, but he does this so serious. He doesn't crack up at all. And they always spitting whatever the spit takes, and they can barely hold it in because he'll do the improv. He'll just start saying stuff that's not part of the lines, and they're like.
Let me just say, it's not that I don't think he's talented. I think he's extremely talented. He's just not
Yeah, I know what you mean.
person that I
I know what you mean
it's a
because
new Will
doesn't
Ferrell
work-
movie.
he doesn't work
I
for you.
know what you mean
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they're
in a lot
characters.
of things, but
You
then
guys
it's
have no
something he
chemistry,
does.
is that it?
Yeah, I don't have chemistry.
But I know
with
what you mean. There's, you know, we'll
But
have
you know,
those.
but look online and look Will Ferrell, his child, and something, and
It's
wow.
adorable.
Oh my God, I was in tears. I was in tears.
What was the other? I was going to say one more thing about that. No, it's all right. It was to do with the dialogue again.
Oh yeah.
This movie and another movie, Year One. It was like I
The
felt
philosophy behind it,
The
also.
dialogue, especially with Dustin Hoffman.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the psychology part of it,
Mm-hmm.
and actually that 23 questions he had. That's actually something in science called the something 23 points or something like that. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, the person who wrote it, which is Zach Hellman, he was very clever.
No, he didn't write it. He wrote the screenplay. It's it's taken from a
You know,
book.
you need to look at the iPad, Patty.
It's called that guy Zach. He did the screenplay. It's taken from the book
Look
Diablo
forward.
by Miguel
Look
Dinamo.
forward.
Huh?
Look forward.
When you type to us, you have to look at the iPad because you'll be like, hey, I'm doing over there.
It's
we
really-
could maintain the illusion.
Yeah, Zach Helm did the screenplay, but it's from a book called Diablo by Miguel Dinamo.
That sounds Italian, is it?
I don't know. I thought it was Spanish, but I don't know
Oh,
my
Spanish. Okay. Yeah. Yes, I think you're right. I think it is Spanish, and I think it might actually have been a movie too, right?
I didn't look up that part.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think it's derived from.
It'd be interesting to read the book.
But anyways, the dialogue of, you know, I'm not a big Dustin Hoffman fan, but I really loved him in this role. He was just,
he was good.
you know, he was just so, you know, clinical. He was so funny.
He was good. He was good as
He
well.
did do that
Yeah.
very well. Yeah. Yeah.
So okay, so
What's our
are
score?
we ready to
What's
score
our
it?
score?
I'm gonna go Sean.
I'll give it a 7.
Okay,
I'll give it a 10. I enjoyed it that much.
Patty.
I'll give it a 9.
9.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 10. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
Really a lot. I'm just, like I said, I'm happier than a pig in mud. You know, I was like so good this week. Anyway, so we ready? Okay.
We'll be back.
Okay.